Hello, this is Dr. Kim Duramo, and I'm recording this pre-record for Mind Body TV. I just finished a yoga practice, and I was inspired to do this week's pre-record of our summer series, Back to Basics of Mind Body Medicine, and share this next tool, which is from the book, the Mind Body Toolkit, as part of this summer series. And I think this is a great ending to our summer series because I listened to really powerful music. I dropped into a really powerful place. My kids are like laughing and playing in the background. And I thought, let me just do this now because it's really about the energy that gets transmitted rather than a perfect video or, preparation or anything. It's really just being connected inside. So I want to welcome everyone who is listening live. I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from, and I'd love to hear questions that come up as you're listening to the episode because we'll be going through these to answer questions. And, if I come back in to do a video about some juicy questions that come up, I always love to look at what you've written. So where are you listening from? What comes up for you as you listen to this week's session? And this week is the chapter in the book, the Mind Body Toolkit, Finding Your Inner Ease. And we work with this a lot in the work, in the Embracing Health course. There's a whole piece on this where we really begin to drop into a level that we can feel that difference between the guidance, our inner guidance, and what it's calling us to versus the mind. The mind can be really persuasive. It's very manipulative. But it's always going to feel heavy compared to the lightness of our wisdom. And so if you take a few deep breaths with me now and drop into your body, just feel your body, presence your body. You can touch your body. You can tap on your heart. You really won't feel the wisdom until you just drop in because the mind cannot understand this. It'll be like, am I doing it right? So just take a moment, relax your shoulders, let your body begin belly breathing because that's what really ignites the parasympathetic nervous system that even lets your body be in a state, lets your brain be in a state where you can perceive truth. So that's the essential first step always is just soften your shoulders, have a few deep breaths, and then begin to feel that inner ease that comes up as you do. Like you'll immediately feel a little more at ease just by softening your shoulders. And you can intend to deepen that connection, perceiving inner ease, with time, practicing this over and over, which is what we're doing in the Embracing Health program and what we are, it's like what the whole point is to bring yourself into a different state. And so one of the main pieces is differentiating between the calling of the wisdom and that chatter of the mind. And so all we're going to do this week in this last session of the 6-week summer series is just begin to drop into the body and allow in that awareness of inner ease. So the first step is just, soften the shoulders and breathe. You might feel just a little bit lighter. But the second thing that happens when we drop in is since we're no longer in the clamping down of the sympathetic nervous system of suppressing our feelings or trying to escape, we might actually have more of those feelings arise. So just use the breath, like really, really allow more breath. And the third step, so this is really like instant elevation sequence, but we're going to apply it here is, what's my intention? And so think about that now, like, who do I intend to be? Because like we talked about in the last session, the last episode, your words, your thoughts, your beliefs are programs. Your cells are listening. They're always, always listening, and they're always responding to those words. And so what's my intention? And so you can say it out loud to yourself. My intention is to live freely. My intention is to allow my inner ease. My intention is to have health and vitality. My intention is to be loving in my relationships. right? And so you might be at a point where it's like, my intention is just to get out of pain, or my intention is to have, more money than I need, but you want to always feel even under that. So it's yes and, which is another tool in the book. And if you don't have the book, it's at drkimd.com/book. It's called the Mind Body Toolkit. It's also available on Amazon. I highly recommend delving into the book because it will speak to you. It will speak to your cells. And it will allow an opening that goes beyond what you think and what you already know. And that's really what your inner ease has for you. So when you surrender to your inner ease, you allow that in. You allow in something that goes beyond what you currently understand. Something, that's the healing. It's the healing. You can't heal yourself. You can just open to allow the circumstances so that the healing happens. And so in this tool, as we welcome that inner ease, you choose that, right? You choose ease instead of white knuckling. You choose ease instead of tension. You choose ease instead of struggle. So when you look at your intentions and write them down, share them in the comments. Like, what's your intention? Go underneath that initial intention, because the initial intention is awesome. Go underneath that of like, why is it that I want that? What happens when I have that thing? How would I feel? Who do I get to be? And then that's an even deeper intention. And it's always helpful to go to that deeper intention because you'll feel the frequency of what's behind the intention. That's your inner ease. Will you let it in? You've got to soften your body. You've got to open, right? You're going to open your breathing. You're going to allow in more life. It all starts with your embodiment. So I did yoga over here in the grass. In fact, where we rent this house here, it's like right next door to the house I was in my first year of medical school. It's a little house right across from the beach. So I'll look out our kitchen window and I'm looking at this house, like remembering who I was then, remembering what my hopes and aspirations were, remembering what my struggles were, what was I involved in. And so I did yoga and just a deep appreciation of like who I was then, what I was aspiring to, and letting that part of me know, I love you. Well done. You can have all of this and more. And so feel the inner ease of just that, knowing what you want wants you. It's not just an aspiration you made up or the program. Underneath all of those desires and intentions is your true calling. And it's written on your heart and it's for you. And so this week, as you practice this tool, soften your shoulders, welcome the breath, choose your inner ease, because every time you choose in favor of your inner ease, which is your wisdom, your truth, you move closer to manifesting your dreams. They're not separate things. So it's automatic. It's automatically here, right now when I open. The reason we don't see it, don't feel it, don't believe it, is because we're usually in closure. And so share your intention with me in the comments here. And you can share like what comes up. Is it, I don't know what inner ease is. How do I find my inner ease? How do I choose my inner ease? Right, because that's all mind. Soften your shoulders. Take a more full, more slow breath. And drop in, it's already there. It's right there waiting for you. How can I allow in more? Even just a slower, deeper breath is inner ease, is a higher level of ease. It's a higher frequency. So you're already moving more closely toward that manifestation. It's just one breath at a time. So what is that intention? What do you feel when you soften your body? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to practicing this? Right? To living your inner ease and following your inner ease and choosing your inner ease over what the mind says. Because the mind's going to say, no, you can't have that. Oh, you can have that after you put in another 10 hours of hard work. Oh, you can have that after X, Y, and Z comes about. And so you won't soften your body. You won't breathe that fully until those things get attained. But the truth is, they can't get manifested until you embody them. So just start by embodying that inner ease. Your cells are listening. Every pathway in your brain is changing when you choose your inner ease. So you can look at, like for me, even just coming out here to do yoga, and I was inspired to do the next pre-record, like that felt light, felt easeful. And the mind was like, wait, is it the right timing? And I just knew, like, trust and let go. So I said to Mario, hey, do you mind if I do my recording right now? Sure. Like, the timing was perfect. The universe will rearrange itself when you follow your inspiration. And like the kids are just playing with themselves. It's kind of perfect. But you can't create that perfection from the mind. Like, I couldn't have micromanaged that. You can only let go to allow what shows up to support me, to support the manifestation. And so practice that and let me know how that goes for you. And also, like, have you noticed that in your own life, whether you've read the book or not? Have you practiced that in your own life, right? Choosing in favor of your ease. And do you notice, like, when you have, what amazing things have come, like a synchronicity or a, like, unexpected gift? Whenever you have that unexpected, like, energy, well-being, solution, it's always been, on some level, preceded by a surrender. Like, I got pregnant with our second child, and there was, like, preceded by a surrender. I stopped even, like, charting my course. I just was like, all right, I'm in flow. I'll let go. Even before my first pregnancy, before I met my husband, there was a huge surrender, right? I began to realize I could be totally happy exactly as I am. My sister has kids. I have these children in my life. I don't have to have those things in place before I choose to be fully happy and be in love with the life I'm in. And I fell in love with my life as it was. And it was like 5 days later, I got introduced to my husband. So the synchronicity is always preceded by the surrender. And that's really what following your inner ease is about. Do you have the courage to follow your inner ease? So that's your invitation for this week. If you didn't see the series, I would highly recommend going back to watch the summer series, because each one is really building on the next. Each one is building as we go through to begin to live as a more surrendered self. Notice what comes up that says you can't. Just re-engage that embodiment. Drop your shoulders. Have a slightly more full, more deep breath, no matter what is coming up. And then welcome in that intention. Welcome in that ease. It's always, always here for you. Can you soften to let it in? The only thing in the way is that tension, that fear, that doubt. But we can exhale that with every breath. And so in the book, I talked about examples of, like, when I was in a hard situation or when I didn't know what to do, right? When I was like, and now that's especially the moment when the mind's going to want to, like, clamp in, tense down when you're dealing with a real big stressor, especially if it's a severe illness, or when you're making a decision that you think is, like, really, really important to you. And so I would challenge you to do the opposite of the tension, the clamping down, the white knuckling, and instead soften. So what are the choices you're making in your life right now, or what's coming up, or what are the struggles that are coming up? And what would it be like to soften, to allow that inner ease, because that's when your guidance is going to come in, and that's when the resources are going to come in, instead of, like, the other pathway, instead of the usual. It will shift your brain and your thinking, your neural pathways, which your brain is neuroplastic, so it'll literally allow new pathways to be created in your brain. It will shift your hormonal and neuroendocrine communication, meaning your mind-body signals that are letting your body either be in health or be in inflammation and disease. And it shifts your electromagnetics. And this for me is the most fascinating as a physician that I've studied, is that we are electromagnetic. We are sending out an electromagnetic signal. And every time I follow my inner ease, I choose in favor of that flow, I am allowing a whole new universe to show up for me. Because I'm in, instead of the glitchy clamp down, so the universe will show up as there are no resources, doors closed, it's not possible, to openness, receptivity, which literally allows a whole new universe to show up. So don't worry when the mind says, but we can't let go, it won't work, it didn't work before, this is not possible, or, oh, well, we know we have to do it this way. Soften, just physically softening, that alone allows in the inner ease. It's a new electromagnetic state. So you're gonna see a new universe. Like, pause for 12 seconds to embody that. You're gonna see a new universe show up. I am so excited to share this with you. I've been so grateful to bring to you the series, the summer series of Back to Basics with Mind, Body, Medicine, so that you can really begin to embody what this is. Until you embody it, it's just an idea. Like for me, I learned all about mind, body, medicine for over a decade before I became a doctor. Yeah. And until I had this like severe autoimmune disease, and doctors told me, you're going to be on medication for life, you'll never run again, you've got to change your whole lifestyle, all of these things that would happen. Until that happened, I didn't really embody this practice. I understood it, I learned about it, I believed in it. I hadn't learned to be it. And when I became this, when I decided to be that open, receptive space, everything changed. Like my body healed, the autoimmune disease resolved, the pain resolved, my life just opened up. Resources were, more flowy, more abundant. I was more guided. And it ended up that illness was the greatest gift. It was like, it was my curriculum, right? And, I had medical school, but this was a deeper curriculum of learning this embodiment so I could share this with the world. And so receive the moment. Don't be afraid of it. It was hard to be experiencing that disease, and I didn't know what to do. And I was so frustrated, trying so hard to heal myself, trying so hard to apply what I'd learned, but because I hadn't embodied it, it wasn't activated in me. And the same is true for all of us. So surrender that fear, surrender that doubt, allow this embodiment. If you would like to go further with this work, certainly purchase the book, The Mind Body Toolkit. It's 10 tools you can use anytime, anywhere to activate this power within you. That's at drkimd.com/book. And a great home study program that I've created for this work, if you'd like to go even further, is the Instant Elevation Program. And that's really when people asked me, what was it you did? Like, how do we open? How do we embody this principle, right? The body heals itself, the mind and body are connected. How do we embody that? It was really the 3 steps of the instant elevation. It's instantaneous that you shift your electromagnetic field, that your brain frequency changes and your neural pathways change, that your physiology changes. And then, the world around you, the experiences around you are completely different. So that's an awesome place to begin if you're new to this work, if you haven't really stepped into this, to practice for yourself. And that's the Instant Elevation Program at drkimd.com/IEP. These things change your life. Like the commitment and making a choice of investing in this truth is already speaking a powerful message to your cells. It's already activating that truth in you because you're like, I'm going to make this choice. I'm not going to let fear hold me back. I'm not going to let doubt hold me back. I'm not going to let complacency hold me back. Are you ready to live more fully? Are you ready to create more abundantly and more powerfully? Because what you want wants you. And this year, what's possible when you take that step? You know, it's not easy because each day it's like, ugh, I don't want to do that. But to show up and watch that video, one of the videos in that course will change your life, even just one. So that's my invitation to you if you'd like to go further with this work, because it's one of the most beautiful things I've put together, and it's a home study course where you'll have those videos that will speak to your cells, that will allow the cellular integration, and the audios in that course, which you can use even as you sleep, to support this, to support those new neural pathways, to support that new inner conversation, to let your body release the old way. Sometimes we don't know how to let go, but your body does. So this instant elevation program will do that for you. So as you watch the videos, as you listen to the audios, it works on your system. All of my programs are created that way. So I'm always really excited to invite other people into this work, because you are the miracle. You are the medicine. And you really can open to that right here, right now, as you are, how you are, where you are, through this choice. So practice following your inner ease. Practice choosing in favor of your ease this week. Let me know how you do. I'll be back next week live at 11 a.m. Mountain Time for Mind Body TV in the Mind Body community and Facebook, if you're in Facebook, and in my YouTube channel, Dr. Kim Duramo, for our live broadcast. It's every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. I love our community. I'm excited to see more and more people ready to hear this and ready to receive this and ready to choose this. So bravo to you, bravo to me from so many years ago over here when I was in medical school, only dreaming of this possibility. You know, our dreams, we can feel the effervescence of them, but we don't actually know them until we let them in. So bravo for me letting that in. I'm just gonna celebrate myself that I let in something that was bigger than me, something that was bigger than what I understood, and it manifested. And you can do that too. We're all doing that every moment. So celebrate yourself today. I love you. Thank you for being here through this summer series, Back to Basics of Mind Body Medicine, playing with the book, The Mind Body Toolkit, which is at drkimd.com/book. Subscribe on my website if you're interested in going further and hearing about the programs, live courses. I am going to be working with a small group live this fall. So if that speaks to you, stay tuned for the invitations there. And I'm so grateful to have our community and be able to share this work. I'll see you soon.